All right, everybody, welcome in. It is Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy on Sports. A huge Week 13 matchup here. Bragging rights up for grabs here in the AFC East. Bills, who have finally seems to usurp the Patriots the last couple years, in danger of giving it right back as Bill Belichick and his new young quarterback, Mac Jones, an opportunity to usurp the throne here. It's a Monday night game, big-time implications. Excited to bring this one to you live. Let's welcome in the other half of the broadcast team. Kit, how are we doing today?
Doing great. It's a Friday. Couldn't be better.
That's right.
And yeah, this is a big AFC East rumble as we have the resurgent Patriots. I don't think a lot of folks wanted to see them be resurgent, but here they are. The coach like that, that's kind of how it works. He's one of the best in the business for a reason. And then the Bills, who have been very, very good as well. They've been interesting this season, a little off at times where Allen really wasn't looking himself, but then other times where he is. So it's been interesting. So certainly a big matchup here, and could go a long way for determining who ends up at the top of the heat in the AFC East.
Absolutely. It looks like the YouTube is still on our splash screen.
Oh, weird. Hold on, let me switch that over. I thought I had clicked it, but I guess I missed it.
Okay.
There we go.
It's all right. All you missed was the kickoff. All right, there is Josh Allen. There we go. Now we're looking good. He's going to go under center to start this game again. Can't stress enough how important being healthy is. As I was going through, just making sure these rosters were right. Like one injured guy from the starting 22, you know what I mean? Come on. Some teams have had it, some teams have not. Allen's going to go incomplete on the first one. I think, in fact, until 2 weeks ago, they were saying the Bills were the only team in the NFL that had not made a single change to their 53-man roster since week 1.
Wow,
which seems pretty wild to me.
That is wild. Hey, welcome in, James.
Indeed. We'll sling her out to the right side. Gabriel Davis, second-year receiver, makes the tackle. For me, for the Bills, it's still about can they run the football. We know what Josh Allen can do. Actually, Josh Allen's like their best runner. Here's a nice little route to Dawson Knox, the tight end. He's going to break one tackle to the 20 to the 15, and it'll go down at the 10. Touchdown saving tackle by Devin McCourty, the safety, and a big first down for the Bills, down to the 10.
Yeah, that was a huge outside route where they just snuck him past the defender there and able to hit him on stride. And beautiful, beautiful little route, but better throw there from Allen. Just BB to him, and just love that, and a whole bunch of yardage after the catch. But no, you're talking about the question about whether they can run the ball, and Allen really being their predominantly productive guy
and their best runner.
In some ways, they're very, very similar to the Ravens in that aspect, with the exception of their offense is not as predicated on the run like the Ravens are, where they're a lot more able to throw the ball with weapons, as they're going to score a touchdown there relatively easily. Actually, the defender was coming on. I had almost a play on the ball, but Allen just, with the arm strength, was sneaking past him.
Dawson Knox, the big tight end from Mississippi. Hard to believe. You go back and look. Dawson Knox, yes, exactly. Hello, Karen, and go Cavs. That's right. Cavs, the new flavor of the week in Cleveland. They're playing some fun basketball here early.
That's right. Yes, they are.
There you go, James. That's funny. That's right. McDermott did come from Carolina, didn't he? He was like the defensive coordinator, wasn't he? I'm just now remembering that you said that. All right, 7-0 early lead. Just a really quick strike again. A 53-yarder to Dawson Knox. And then a touchdown pass to him 2 plays later. So it didn't really matter. Here's a look at Mac Jones. That's what he's done in the sim. That may actually even be a little bit better than he has done in real life. He has been good. They are running the system. Josh McDaniels has got it dialed up perfectly for his skill set. And as we watched firsthand a couple weeks ago, Browns fans, they run it to perfection as they set up a screen, which they do so well. Broken down, nice tackle. Looks like could have been a face mask.
That's
Damian Harris, the running back, and the run get knocked down right away.
Interesting on that screen, they had the perfect call on for the blitz that was coming, so that was ideal timing on it. But they didn't really set it up very well. The running back actually kind of leaked further to the outside than you really want. His blocks were further in or closer to the hash marks there. kind of on the numbers. You really want to be on the numbers for a screen like that. And he was outside of that and ended up getting, that edge perimeter defender a position to make the tackle, where if you end up over the numbers where your blockers are, you're much more able to get something out of it. And he probably could have gone a long way if he had been well positioned, but instead not well executed by the Patriots.
Indeed. Damian Harris, a stretch play to the left side for 9 yards and a first down. On this first down carry, however, he's just going to get 2 up the middle. Let's look at Bills Mafia here. I'm sure Buffalo is going to be buzzing on Monday night here. Patriots in town. Right side, Mac Jones. He's got his receiver to the right side. It's caught Ja'Cory Myers. First down to the 50-yard line. Second completion of the day after the 2-yard screen for Mac Jones.
Yeah, that little hitch route bailed his quarterback out. Came open just the right time to be able to get the ball out.
Mac Jones, he's going to get sacked. Just held it way too long. Trent Brown, the right tackle, got beat by Jerry Hughes, and a big sack back to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 20 on that play. Jones in a shotgun. He's back to pass. Pressure holds up. Now watch out. Here comes Ed Oliver running to the right side and throwing the football away. Man, Mac Jones can do it.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield cannot.
I was just going to say the same thing. It's why? Like, come on, man. That's just so blatantly unfair and biased towards Baker.
Up the middle, and this time they're going to sack him home. Vernon Butler.
We say that, and then he takes a statue sack. So.
Madden giveth, and Madden taketh away. So sacked there by the interior of the Buffalo defensive line. Vernon Butler Jr., one of the D tackles. A 4th and 30 here, requiring a punt. And that's going to go out of bounds at the 30, so not a super great punt there by Jake Bailey. It looked like it went a long way, but went out of bounds a little early. Always, James. That's the one fundamental truth of our channel, that Madden's going to Madden.
Yep, as much as we try to convince him not to.
He's going to go ahead and take off and slide down for 2. Three tight ends on a wing on either side. Back to pass play action. Now moving to the right. Now throws back to the left. He's got his man as his running back out of the backfield, Devin Singletary, and he's going to get just a couple of yards, maybe just 2 yards. That's up a 3rd and 6. Allen in the shotgun once again. Back to pass. Patriots rush 4. They get home. Right side. Overthrows everybody with that cannon of an arm. Gabriel Davis was the intended receiver. Incomplete, and they're going to punt the football back to the Patriots. Again, appreciate everybody being in, joining us today. It is a Browns bye week, so this will do it for the weekend sims. Get you a chance to enjoy those college championships and the Week 13 action, where at least you know the Browns can't lose, right?
That's right.
And there's still a pretty big glut in the middle of the AFC, so anything could happen, right?
Yep.
All right, here's Mac Jones. He's under center. They're going to stretch it right side. Damian Harris once again bounces off his own blocker to the 30, to the 35, nearing the 40 before he's going to go down. Nice run there now. 3 carries, 31 yards to start the game for Damian Harris.
Well blocked on the outside there, sealing the edge to give him the opportunity to get outside on that little bit of a bounce. Nicely done.
Shotgun look here again. 1st and 10 from their own 39. Bunch of Bills up at the line. They're going to stay there. But Damian Harris gets some great blocks right up the A-gap and a huge first down run again. Damian Harris is red hot to start the game.
Yeah, he sure is, and that's something that's really brought this offense a long way. I think folks thought they were going to struggle in the run game, and they've been very effective in the run game, actually. And credit the O-line for blocking well there, and they have been all season.
Back to pass here, a huge drop for Mac Jones. Now he's going to fire left side on an out route right at the 40-yard line. Catch it, get the toes in. Ja'Cory Myers puts up 2nd and 4. Up the middle, again, a huge hole for Damian Harris. He is just wrecking this defense right now. And the line for the Patriots, which we, again, have seen in real time a couple weeks ago with Cleveland game. They can move some people, and they did it so just there.
Yep, absolutely, especially in that interior as they've been attacking there in the middle between the tackles pretty consistently. That was really, 3 of them in a row there. And Damian Harris really getting work done. But, like you said, the moving the people up front, that's really where this run attack starts for the Patriots and why they're so successful with it.
Very big part of it for sure. Play action here now, Mac Jones. Lots of time. Now he's going to fire right, waiting for the drag to come across the middle, and it does. It's Jacoby Myers again. 4 for 5 now for Mac Jones. 3 of those catches going to Jacoby Myers now in his 3rd season out of NC State. 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver. There's a look at a very young Belichick. Who's the closest I could get.
Yeah. Hey, George, welcome in. Morning.
Yep, morning. Morning, George. First and goal now from the 7. Turn around, goes to draw play to Damian Harris. Took too long. Kind of a bad snap. Unable to field the ball cleanly. Kind of a low snap, and maybe threw off the timing just enough. Matt Milano, the linebacker, gets in there. They're actually going to lose a yard. Second and goal now from the 8. Strong eye to the left side. They're going to run that way. It's Ramondre Stevenson for the first time, and he's going to get whipped down at the line. Vernon Butler and Star Latulele. Your former Carolina Panther there, James. Mac Jones, right side, corner of the end zone. Actually, he's out of the end zone. He's going to catch it at the 2-yard line before falling out of bounds. It's Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, set up with just that 1 foot just out of bounds there. So unfortunately, he was. Oh no, they gave him credit for that. I thought it was out. Interesting.
All right, they're going to go for it on 4th and 2. They're going to run it to Harris. He's going to power his way into the end zone. Oh, the Bills had a prime opportunity there. But instead, the Patriots just run it down their throats as they've done very effectively in this first quarter. And our kick away from tying the football game. Here's Nick Folk, who's been one of the best kickers in the NFL this season. He's bounced around a lot. He was with the Bengals for a while. He was not a great kicker for a long time, and all of a sudden he's found the career fountain of youth here.
Yeah, indeed.
In Foxborough. All right, Isaiah McKenzie brings it up to the 19-yard line. That brings Josh Allen and the offense back out onto the field again. Very dynamic first drive with 1 long throw to Dawson Knox and then a touchdown catch for Dawson Knox. Pressure coming, and instead of getting rid of it, Matthew Judon's going to sack him. He's having a special year. Definitely rejuvenating his career after coming over from Baltimore in free agency. And he got there in a hurry. Here's the next gen stats are going to show. You can see that Josh Allen actually just lucky to hold on to that football as he got there in 3.2 seconds. Yeah, that's pretty darn fast.
Josh Allen was loading up to throw it way deep. You can see his motion there, like he was just going to chuck that one in the classic Madden bomb.
That's right. Here he is rolling away, and he's actually going to complete the pass. That was Knox on the sideline. Sets up a 3rd and 12 instead of a 3rd and 20. Josh Allen now. Pressure coming. He's going to run away from it. Now he zips it over the middle, and he's got it complete to Cole Beasley, but he is short of the line to gain.
Cole,
4th and 3.
Make that cut at the sticks, son. You cut back at the sticks. That way you pick up the first down, not getting tackled short of it like this, forcing your team to punt. Again, you got to draw these plays up to earn first downs, not, 4th and 3s.
And 7 now, $1:51 to go. Mac Jones and the offense back out onto the field again. It's the Monday night game this week. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy joining your Nagy on Sports full game, full sims of NFL games. As chosen by you, the fans are setting up another screen, but this time it's going to get blown up as Justin Zimmer barrels his way down the middle, and Mac Jones has got to get rid of that football.
Yeah, that's where the O-line has to hold up that pass rush just a tick. You can't let it just go right past you. You have to give them just a second of hold up so that you have time to get that screen set up on the backside, because if you just let them go, they're gonna get to the quarterback every time unless it's a faster developing screen, like a little bit of a tight end delay screen where the guy's already out there instead of coming out of the backfield.
You saw the blitzing safety, Micah Hyde and Teron Johnson, the nickel back there, so they were coming. There was 4 guys that could have sacked Mac Jones on that play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they had the right play call. That's what you want to do against the blitz right there. It's a great blitz beater. You just, obviously the lineman got to hold up for just a second to give Mac Jones the time to throw the ball out.
He is going to throw this one away to avoid taking another sack, and that will set up a punt. So, quick score. I thought maybe we were going to be out for a bit of a shootout now, just 7-7 as teams have started to trade punts. Stephon Diggs returning the punt, and he's going to get up to the 43-yard line. 7-7 game, 1 minute to go, first quarter. I formation, Reggie Gilliam, the fullback. Little motion for Emmanuel Sanders. Faking the jet sweep and give it to Singletary, and he's just bottled up immediately by Lawrence Guy. Rush defensive tackle plus defensive end, and their standard 3-4 base. Spread him out now, empty backfield. Josh Allen right side. He's got a man. He's got Dawson Knox again. That's definitely been the matchup that they've exploited so far, as Dante Hightower cannot stay with Dawson Knox. 3 tight ends now stacked to the right side, but we're not going to get the play off because the quarter hath ended. 7-7. With the field now. 1st and 10 after that Dawson Knox completion. They come back out in 3 receivers and run it up the middle with Singletary. He's got some room. And a first time he takes a huge shot and fumbles. But I think the offensive lineman was able to fall on it. He was. Wow, what a shot. And John Feliciano is able to fall on the football, so the Bills retain possession.
Yeah, it looked a lot like the JJ3 fumble earlier in the season for us, or a forced fumble for us, where he just put his shoulder pad right on the ball there. Actually, his elbow looks like, and just popped it right out. Nice hit to force the ball. And that's how they, if you're going to be able to make the tackle and put contact on the ball, that's a great way for forcing fumbles. And they do it again.
Out again, and it's going to be picked up by Josh Allen this time, and he'll get credit for a 2-yard run.
Wow, give the Bills credit for kind of being ball aware in terms of jumping on the ball there. That's impressive to have 2 forced fumbles in a row and be able to retain the possession both times.
Absolutely. Here's an out route now, Emmanuel Sanders, and he takes a shot, and this time it is going to be picked up by Hightower. 3 fumbles in a row.
Oh, man.
And they could not catch lightning in a bottle the 3rd time.
No.
As Emmanuel Sanders gets decked by Hightower, and then Hightower is able to scoop it up. Wow.
Yeah, that's the old forced fumble and scoop. Doing it all yourself. That's definitely going to be a big point of emphasis for the Bills coming out of this game. It's going to be some ball security. Can't be doing that. My goodness.
Well, and the Patriots have turned the ball over a lot. Usually it's interceptions, but today it's fumbles.
That's right.
5 yards for Damian Harris.
With really big hits from their defenders, Hightower included in that last one, where they just throwing in tons of laying the wood left and right, but happening to do it in a position where they're getting a lot of the contact on the ball and forcing that ball to pop out. And then ironically, it only takes 1 to make it happen, but Bills, like you mentioned, only able to do it 2 out of the 3, and 1 is enough.
Right side. Mac Jones completes a big pass. 18 yards and a first down. Nelson Aguilar, 19 yards. And he's got that thing all the way up to the 49 on the other side of the 50 for a big first down for the Patriots on 3rd and long. Turn around again, right up the middle. Damian Harris, huge hole, 40. Spinning his way to the 35. He's up to 80 carries now. 80 carries. 80 yards on 11 carries. As he continues to be dominant on the ground.
Yeah, you know your O-line is producing for you when the running back is untouched through a massive gaping hole all the way to the 2nd level, and it's really the 3rd, because the 2nd level is even getting blocked, and it's like the secondary that's having to come in and make the tackle. That's an outstanding performance from the offensive line. I mean, because really you didn't even have to cut for that hole. It was just like run straight at it. It almost looked like a veer.
Right. 3rd and 1 now. Jones in trouble. Now he leaves the pocket. Now he's going to fumble. He's going to be picked up by the Bills. At the 41, the fumble-rooski game is happening here. We got fumbles all over the place. And the Bills get the football right back.
Yeah, first trading punts, now trading fumbles. This has been wild.
That's right. This is wild. Here's a run up the middle of Zach Moss. His first run of the day is going to get 4 yards. We're down to 10 to go in the first half. Still a 7-7 game. Again, they traded touchdowns, and then since they've been trading punts and now trading fumbles. 1 turnover for each team here in this second quarter. Back to pass, Josh Allen. Now he's going to roll to the right side. Now he's going to take off 45, sliding down at about the 50-yard line. Going to put him real close to the stick. Sets up 3rd and 1. They bring in 3 tight ends.
Yeah, it's almost like playing a game of anything you can do kind of thing, where they're just keep going back and forth doing the same stuff the other team just did.
Absolutely. This time they try to run up the middle again with Zach Moss, and he's going to be shut down. That's going to set up a 4th and 3. Does McDermott go for it here, or he's going to punt?
Yeah, that's definitely go for it territory with a 4th and 3 at midfield, kind of in no man's land there. I mean, I guess with
Not
3 you could argue, but yeah, you certainly don't want to punt it like that. If you're going to punt from that position, that's actually giving them a gift.
Absolutely. All right, Mac Jones back out on the field. No harm on his fumble. His defense picks him up now. 2 receivers and a tight end and a fullback in the game. Back to pass. Lots of time. Now he's going to evade the pressure and then take the sack. Just throw that one away, Mac.
Now that looked like Baker.
Yes. Starr and Vernon going to get there as well again. 2nd and 24 now.
Sorry, I should specify. That looked like virtual Baker, not real Baker.
Yes, there you go. Left side, very short route. Just going to check it down to Kendrick Bourne, who was waiting there. He's going to get 7, 6.5 of which were after the catch. That's up 3rd and 17. 13 yards receiving is what Kendrick Bourne has in the game. Now he's going to fire on the run right side. He's got one of his tight ends, Devin Asiasi, to the right side. He's going to be short of the line to gain. Good try for it, Devin Asiasi. And 4th and 4 is, Hunter Henry. I didn't know what number he was. That's actually Hunter Henry. It was Asiasi. But 86 is Asiasi. 85 is Hunter Henry. That makes more sense. Regardless, short of the line to gain and a punt upcoming could not recover from that big sack on 1st down. Jake Bailey punts again.
Yeah, for as much action as there's been in this game, and actually some drives that have been going places, we don't have a lot of scoring. Been an interesting bit of defensive struggle here with some of the turnovers. Obviously we've had some punts, but like some punts from midfield, and so it's not that the drives haven't been producing. It's just nobody's really been able to get into the end zone.
Zach Moss again really struggling. Just 3 carries now, 3 yards, as we talked about at the beginning of the game. Outside of Josh Allen, they just do not have a running attack that keeps you balanced, defensively speaking. Now here's a little bit of a delay to Matt Breida.
Interesting on that one. Breida selects probably the narrowest hole possible there. There was a big gaping hole just to his right, and instead elects to go inside of that. Made it a little bit harder, potentially, lost a little bit of potential yardage out of the run as a result.
3rd and 3, Allen out of a shotgun. He's going to fire deep left side. He's got a receiver. Diggs has got a step, and he's got the ball to the 20. What a throw and catch down to the 19-yard line.
Hey,
come on, Diggs.
A Madden bomb that was actually well-read, single covered. Diggs has an obvious step and lays it out there where you want him to. That was like looked like an NFL throw.
I know, and a very nice throw from Josh Allen. Indeed, he's now 10 for 12 or $178 after that 55-yarder. And that slant to Gabe Davis gives him a 1st and goal at the 6.
I mean, I don't mind throwing deep. I was going to say, sorry, I don't mind throwing deep. Just, do it with a sense of purpose and when it makes sense, not just because.
Right. This little flare pattern on the right side. Cole Beasley's 2nd and goal now from the 2. They're going to spread him out. And run a little draw up the middle. Hit right away, and he's going to maybe lose a yard. Matt Breida. Defense got there quickly, led by Matthew Judon, a linebacker. And now a 3rd and goal from the 2. They go heavy. And they're going to run it up the middle again. Zach Moss breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. He made that one happen on his own. Touchdown, Bills. So both of the Bills' touchdowns aided by 50-plus yard throws from Josh Allen. 3:46 on the clock. Mitch Trubisky holds the football. Kick is up, kick is good for Tyler Bass. 14-7, Bills recapture the lead. Let's see what Josh McDaniel can dial up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, somebody breaks that stalemate that they didn't have in the last quarter and a half here. Because they had that early set of scoring and then really nothing in between with some turnovers, but nobody able to capitalize off of it and just a bunch of punts out in between. So, finally somebody able to do something with it as actually the first, that was a bit of a run blitz right there. Really first, I think, TFL they've had in this game for the Bills defense, who have been getting gashed in the run game quite a bit. So, nicely done here as they look at all those defenders in the hole before he even has a chance to do anything with it. So credit them for a good play there. But it'll be interesting to see what the Patriots elect to do, how well they respond with their 3 minutes 15 to get down the field.
2nd and 12 now. 3-step drop for Mac Jones. He's got an out route to his tight end, Hunter Henry. Picks up a couple of yards. 3rd and 7 now.
Yeah, this
Bills going to try to get after him.
This is an important play because you don't want to give the Bills an opportunity to score again here in half.
Mac Jones tries to get it into a window, and it's going to be dropped. Had his receiver over there. That looked like Jacoby Myers. Found a little bit of a gap in that window. You saw Tre'Davious White was playing the close press man. He knew he had help over the top, and Mac Jones tried to fit it in that window between corner and safety, and Myers just couldn't bring it to the ground.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful throw. It was actually absolutely where it needed to be. Hit him in the hands. Just needs to make that catch. That was critical, especially now. 2.5. You've given Allen an opportunity here from the 25 to go in for another score before the half. And if they do that, look out. The Bills are set up to potentially put this game out of hand with the way the defense is playing.
Put the rifle back across the field. You saw Diggs all the way on the left sideline. Catches it and steps out of bounds. Last play here before the 2-minute warning. Play action. Wiggling in the pocket, now moving. Now he's going to take off 40, 45, to the 50, to the 55. Look to the 55. Look at him go. There's nobody over there. Holy smokes. What a run from Josh Allen. A little acceleration there. He ran away from a defensive back.
Yeah, the only criticism...
That was Hightower. Sorry, linebacker Hightower.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, the only criticism I had there is slide, man. You don't need to take the contact on that. You got plenty of yardage. Just slide. Don't be taking those hits because you're going to need those legs and that body for later.
What a big-time run, and now he's going to take a second fumble the football. It's picked up. Oh, he's going to go all the way. It's Chase Winovich. The Michigan week of success continues as Winovich struggling to the end zone. Touchdown, Patriots.
That was so interesting.
What a turn of events.
It was so interesting watching the obvious bad, okay, you're tired now, as he's like, I'm going this speed, and then suddenly he very dramatically slows down to a different speed.
Yep. His speed burst runs out. And just like that, a shock to the system if you're a Bills fan. You were driving in to go up 21-7. Now it's a tie game.
Yeah. Yep. That was a big turn of events for this opportunistic defense and putting them right back in it where they were before. They obviously the offense wanted to get it done, but wasn't able to, especially with that that dropped pass from the perfect ball Mac Jones put down there. But now a minute 38 for Allen, and still an opportunity to at least put the points back on the board, to put you back where you were to overcome that fumble.
Absolutely. Throw and a catch, but it didn't get both feet in bounds. Incomplete.
Yeah, James, I agree. They really do. They're far too fumble happy and interception happy in this game, and a lot of times they result in ridiculous touchdowns that happen a lot more often than they should.
Yeah, strips to the right side, little delayed draw, play action. Now zips it to the right side, and wide open is Beasley. Just got to put that on his body there, Josh. Then he can run for a while. He makes a great catch, but he falls out of bounds in the process. There wasn't a Patriot in the picture with him. Allen out of under center now, slant to the left side. He's got his man. Watch out, McKenzie's going to go. 20, 15, 10, 5. He is an athlete in space. Their kick returner extraordinaire and one broken tackle. House call. Bills retake the lead.
Yeah, make up for fumble check mark. Well done there from Josh Allen. It's his man in a spot where the guy can make a play after the catch. Really nicely played from him, where he's able to avoid the defender who actually made a play on the ball, but Allen, too savvy for that, puts it in a spot where only his receiver can come up with the play, and then that does the rest with his legs.
55 seconds here and counting as Olszewski's going to get down to the 22. Down 7 now, still all 3 timeouts. Mac Jones going to spread them out 5 wide, fall back into the shotgun here. Let's see what they can get a hold of. 4-man rush coming from the Bills, zipping it left side. Got it, but dropped. He went towards Harris, who had lined up all the way to the left side. He drops the football. Jones with lots of time, maybe a holding call. But it's going to be picked. It may not matter. 10-5. There's another defensive touchdown. Tre'Davious White gets in the end zone this time.
Yeah,
will it stand?
That will stand. I believe that was a hold. There it is.
There it is. The holding call, and wow, I'll trade you a defensive touchdown for a defensive touchdown. Penalty decline, 28-14, just like that.
Yep,
this game is drunk.
Yeah, it's been pretty wild, and not, obviously the huge number of turnovers. Not that can't happen, just not very likely. And then the other side of the house on this has just been really. I mean, the Bills had the opportunity to kind of put it a little bit, feel like it's out of hand and out of reach for these Patriots going into halftime, especially since I believe they get the ball back to start the second half, and they've done just that, but doing it not in the way you would expect them to do it. They, first turn it over, give them a touchdown, but then make up for 2 touchdowns by scoring one quickly with Allen down the field, throwing a beauty. And then, with that quick strike, and then turning, pick 6 quickly, on the other side to do their own little defensive score to put themselves in this position.
Yep. Here's Hunter Henry, little angle route from the tight end. Driving fairly efficiently now. 1 timeout remaining, 25 seconds. You can also tell that momentum bar all the way to the side of Buffalo as well. Blitz coming from Teron Johnson. Mac Jones feels it now. He's going to fire right side. He's got a man on the sideline, and it's going to be caught by Henry. He steps out of bounds at the 12. Wow. Unreal. Mac Jones throwing on the run. 18 seconds in, he got out of bounds. They're right back. They're in. They got a timeout left. It said we're going to fumble, and luckily, our offensive lineman will fall on it this time. Timeout called. Going to be the final one called. And they're just going to go ahead and bring the field goal unit out now. 10 seconds remaining in the half. All right, well, that was a pretty darn effective drive. They're going to end up getting 3 on it.
No, they missed.
Oh, they missed?
Yeah,
what?
Missed it.
Apparently, I was like, wait a minute, why are they on the field already? And they're just going to go ahead and run the football once. That's going to get us to halftime. So a wild end of the game. It started a little slow. We were talking about it being sluggish at 7-7, and now here we are, 28-14. After a missed field goal, Patriots will get the football back.
It was sluggish with interesting spots of fireworks, then not a lot of scoring coming out of it, but then you kind of gave you the feel like it was going to blow wide open at some point. And sure enough, here we are.
Indeed. I formation, Mac Jones. In the pocket, pressure coming, and it's going to get to him. Boogie Basham gets to him. And that's the 7th sack of the day for the Buffalo Bills defense.
Yes, Mac, nicknamed Virtual Madden Field Baker.
Right.
With his quintessential Baker Maddenfield sack.
I like that, Baker Maddenfield. 3rd and 14 now. Can they recover from that Maddenfield sack? Back to pass. Jones loads up right side, deep. He's got a man, and it's going to be caught by Jacoby Myers.
Wow. That was impressive.
That was. Going to get the old next-gen stats here. He had a step, though. That's the right throw. That's the right read.
Yep, he found his single coverage out on the perimeter, throws a beauty of a ball, and Jacoby Myers comes up with a really nice catch on the perimeter, keeping his feet in. That was the key point there.
Yeah.
So nicely done. That was a huge pickup for these Patriots since they're driving now in scoring position.
68 yards in the air. Here's another nice first down run for Harris. Not too early to abandon the run game as he's up to 98 yards in the game. His first touch of the second half.
Nor should they. That's a mistake I've seen far too often from Madden teams, just going, "Oh, we're down 14," especially the virtual Browns. "Oh, we're down 14. We gotta pass every play."
Fires it over the middle. This time it's Devin Asiasi, the tight end, as they were in 13 personnel. 12 yards and a 1st and goal now. Driving nicely off that big throw to Jacoby Myers. Shotgun for Mac Jones. Give it up the middle again. Harris tries to step to the right side a little bit of a counter look, and no love there. He'll go down immediately. Give him a gain of 1. 2nd and goal from the 4.
And I think the more frustrating, back to that point, I think the more frustrating part about the let's pass every play is it's not even like creative passing. It's a big sack out on the perimeter. Wow, this little blitz from the outside coming in and getting to the quarterback way too quick.
He got there in a hurry. That's Jordan Poyer, the free safety, who blitzed really fast. Of course, former Brown Jordan Poyer.
That's right.
2.4 seconds. That's as fast as I've seen on the next gen stats.
But I was going to say for the passing stuff, it's super frustrating when they do that down 14 and they start passing, because it's not even like, creative passing. Is a big interception in the end zone there.
Wow, Levi Wallace jumps the route. What a lazy throw from the rookie. And thwarted again the end zone once again. Look at Mac Jones. I'm not even sure where he's... I guess he has a receiver back there in the corner, but he was wildly covered.
Yeah, that was not a good read. Very bad throw, and ends up throwing it right to the wrong team.
I guess turnover now.
I guess the colors are kind of similar, but not that similar.
No, yeah, not that similar.
So, no, I was going to say, though, when they get into that passing mode, especially the Browns, and they're down 14, you just want them to run the ball to set up the pass, to have some play action. They don't do any of that stuff. All they do is sit there and, they're like, oh, we should run 3 plays that are basically 4 verticals or equivalent, and then punt. Because we can't get any of it done. It's a bunch of chucking downfield and nonsense that makes no sense when they get into that mode. It's so frustrating because their strategy and gameplay gets to be awful.
There he goes again, 50, 45, 40, slides down at the 36. Now 4 carries, 72 yards. We told you the running game outside of Josh Allen needed to do something, and he has been so good so far.
A big part of that running game. We've seen a couple other runs from some players, that have been successful, but no, the big chunk yardage has all been Josh Allen in the run game.
Absolutely. Zach Moss for a few yards to the right side, 2nd and 6. 8:48 to go, 3rd quarter clock. Pitch to the left side. Are they going to get him in the backfield? They are. Jalen Mills comes up from his cornerback spot to help out, but Dante Hightower has started. 3rd and 7 coming up. Five-man rush coming. Allen's going to see some space. 45 to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, 15, 10, and he'll slide down before getting his head taken off. Mark him down at the 11-yard line. Josh Allen just punishing the Patriots here in these man coverage things. There's nobody with their eyes on him.
Yeah, and that one was a little bit weird. You saw him holding onto the ball well past the line of scrimmage, out in his hands like he's still trying to look downfield and throw it. If he had done that, he'd come up with a big penalty instead. But then you saw him actually shift gears, like you could see his speed pick up as he just tucks it and ran. It was really odd because he was 5 yards past the line of scrimmage at that point.
Up the middle, Breida, touchdown, and that may be all she wrote here in Buffalo.
I think that will do it. But no, it was interesting too, because like if he had even delayed a half second on deciding to tuck and go, the tackler was right there behind him, had an opportunity to make a play, and instead he picks up a big chunk yards because he does, change gears and start, speeds up to, the tackler behind him actually makes, tackles air instead of him. But it was, if he delayed even a half second longer, that, that probably makes that tackle right there and only like a 3 to 5 yard gain. But it was odd, like, especially with the speed change that Madden had for that, the tuck it and run part. Like, why are you doing that way past the line of scrimmage? You should be doing that. It's a big interception for the Bills. That is definitely going to put the final nail in the coffin here if they can score this touchdown. That is not what you want to be doing if you're Mac Jones and the Patriots.
Indeed. Micah Hyde is the one who picks it off, so another great play from your safety. Been doing a lot of talking. I'm going to run upstairs and refill my water bottle. Be right back. Enjoy these plays, courtesy of Verizon and Kit.
All right, so Josh Allen will set up here in the gun, and he's going to hand off a little bit of that delayed zone interior look, and Breida not really able to come up with much of anything there. He was hit pretty much. They're going to say he got back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd and 1 here. Trips bunch to the left. Under center is Allen. Takes the snap. He's got a little pick route on the outside. He's going to take that crosser just past the sticks. That was well designed there to get themselves the first down. His tight end had a step. Did Knox, and Van Noy was not able to keep up with them, making an easy first down. That one was drawn past the line to gain, which has been something I've been harping on a lot of late. Madden can be so frustrating when it designs a pass play that is not set up or calls a pass play that's not designed or set up to gain the first. Little outside handoff and fighting for yards. It was actually not a bad run, only picking up one, but Hightower able to come up with tackle there and limit the damage. It looked like he had an opportunity to get a bunch of yardage if he just could get past that line there.
I see the Bills have the ball back again, so that's exciting.
Well, they had the ball back from that.
Oh, that's right. They intercepted it right when I left. That's right. 305 yards passing now for Josh Allen. Would this surprise you if it went this way on Monday, Kit? The Bills kind of exert their dominance? I mean, obviously the defensive touchdowns and stuff notwithstanding, but like this kind of a domination?
Surprise, I don't think is the right word, because we know how potent the Bills can be when the Bills are firing on all cylinders. And when their defense steps up, they're really, really good. So, no, not surprised, but I don't think it'll go this way either at the same time. I think that Belichick will have his team too well prepared for this, especially in division. So no, I don't think it's going to go like this. I do not expect it to be like a any of the Bills like bizarre, can't score any points type games. I don't think it's going to go that way.
Right. 9-6 Jaguars.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's going to be one of those. But I do think it's going to be a tightly contested game, and I think it's going to really come down to probably turnovers if the Bills can prevent the Pats from taking the ball away. Then I think the Bills probably come out on top. But if the Patriots are able to come away with the ball, one or two times, then look for the Patriots to win it.
Under 2 minutes to go. Josh Allen, touchdown. Dawson Knox, his second of the day, as the beat down in Buffalo is on. 41-14 now. Look at that balance. 24 runs, 26 passes. they've been good when they've needed to. And again, 5 of those most dynamic runs have been by Josh Allen, getting to the corner and going.
Yeah, you're right, James. The defense for the Patriots really is very, very stingy, very good at coming, just, getting off the field on third down, and also excellent at taking the ball away. So yeah, I don't think that the scoreline like this is very likely. I don't put it out of the realm of possible for the Bills, just because of how good that offense can be, especially when Allen is having a day. He can be, he can beat anybody with his arm and with his talent when he's on. So I don't put it past. They certainly have weapons also that he can spread the ball around too out there. So I don't put it past it. Really, I guess the biggest question mark is how involved and effective will the Bills' rushing attack be, because that's going to determine how effective they can be in the pass game. Because if they can't maintain any kind of balance because they can't get anything done on the run game, then perhaps it won't matter.
Yep. Yeah, 3 interceptions for Mac Jones. It's not something that I would necessarily expect. 6 for 129 now for Jacoby Myers. He has definitely been the go-to receiver here for Mac Jones today. Also, Damian Harris has been stuck at 99 yards since his first run of the second half. And now you can see he's at 99 yards. Because he has been able to break through that century mark here. Final play of the third quarter, they're going to pitch it to him right side, and he's going to lose yards. So just can't get anything going right now, as the Bills defense has all the momentum in this game. That's middle linebacker Tremaine Edmonds. With the field now, fourth quarter starts. Buffalo well in the driver's seat here, 42-14. Yeah, only unless you're playing the Browns can you afford to turn it over 4 times and still win, right?
Ugh.
Yeah. First time since 2014, I think I saw.
Yeah, that I think that's the first time. I mean, there was some stat like with 4 turnovers, like teams went 37-0 in that stretch, and of course we had to be the one that didn't. And that's the second time this season we've done something of that ilk.
Had a record like that, yeah, that Chargers game where we had no turnovers and over 500 yards of offense and 40 points and lost.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's been how the season has gone for us, record-breaking in mysterious ways.
Yeah, absolutely, and not the ways that you want it to be. It's been kind of wild too. I mean, it comes down to consistency. We've talked about this before. Got to be consistent. That's something we haven't been really all season. But it's also that the 3-phase complementary football where we've had games like we've only really put it all together one time. That was that Bengals game where all 3 phases played outstanding football, and it was awesome. It was so good to see, and that's what this team can be. They just have to be consistent enough, and not making the execution and mental errors, and really. Playing well on all 3 phases, because we've had defensive efforts that have been amazing with the offense just being terrible, i.e. this last game we just came out of. We've had offensive efforts that have been awesome with the defense just being awful, i.e. the Chargers game. We've had games where the special teams were the wink link, like the Jamie Gillen, inexplicable Jamie Gillen. I'm going to try to run the ball now. Play early in the season. So and then just Jamie Gillen struggling in general early in the season. So no, it's been all 3 phases have been really excellent at times, like really truly excellent, and to the tops in the NFL caliber, like one of the top 3 to 5 in the NFL in all 3 phases. It's just putting it all together, and if we put it all together, this is one of the best teams in the NFL. Without consistency, you just aren't. Yep.
Good analysis there. Now a 3rd and 7 after the 4th and 30 conversion was not successful because Patriots are in throw it deep every down mode, which means lots and lots of sacks coming. To finish the game, Vernon Butler Jr., you don't even know who that is, but he's got 5.5 sacks for the Bills' defensive line here today.
Yep.
Another punt upcoming, which means Mac Jones will be bludgeoned yet again, potentially. Matt Hack gets that one to die right at the 3-yard line, the 8-yard line.
Now, I will say that the Browns have had a lot of things that have been outside of their control that have negatively impacted them this season, which really has sucked. We've had some awful refereeing, especially early in the season, but not that has totally gone away. But so we've had some awful refereeing for the Browns. We have had some really bad injuries that have easy pick 6 here. That's wow. Just insult to injury there. Just pour some salt in the wind while you're at it. As yet another pick 6. But anyway, so no, I was going to say that there have been quite a few things really outside of the Browns' control that have gone wrong this season. That you can't control those things, and they're going to be what they're going to be. And unfortunately, some of those things have affected the outcomes of games. But realistically, if you have the things that you can control at a consistent level and fully under your control, where you are taking advantage of what you can and not letting the mistakes creep in to create havoc and torpedo your own season by the Browns beating the Browns like they did in that Steelers game. Then this team, even with all of those things outside of their control, still could have a very good record right now, and theoretically still can, can make it to the playoffs. They just have to put it together, and I think this is the perfect time for the bye week for them to really sort it out, self-scout, figure out what they need to do, and find a way to be consistent, find a way to come together and play three-phase complementary football.
Yep. Absolutely. 9:20 to go here. Mac Jones back to pass once again. Fires right side. Coming back to the football. Give him about 9 yards to his receiver. Jones shotgun again. And sacked again.
Dion, it's really easy to say stuff like that, like, oh, I wish we had Josh Allen or a bunch of these other quarterbacks, but you got to remember the situation that the quarterback, i.e. Baker Mayfield, walked into back in 2018 when he was drafted. This team was not ready. You put even the best of quarterbacks into a bad situation, and if they don't develop, it's the same mess we had for decades before that. I don't know that Josh Allen necessarily succeeds in Cleveland. He was well set up in Buffalo because Buffalo was really in a position where they had a team built around just missing a quarterback. They needed to draft a good quarterback. They got one in Allen. They gave him an opportunity to develop in the right way, and he has really thrived as a result. That first year was still a big struggle for him just because he had the accuracy issues, but he found a way. He was in a position where he could still be successful and build the mental side of his game without getting just bludgeoned in the process. And it's very hard to put a quarterback into a position where they're just going to get bludgeoned or have a hard time developing because it's so damaging to the mental part of the game. Which that's one of the things that I truly value about Baker is he's one of the most mentally tough quarterbacks out there, and I think if anybody could have survived that situation and come out of it on top, Baker's the guy. I think he was the right pick. I still think he has all the potential he had before. He's obviously he's been injured a lot this season, which has not helped, and he's struggled some. But on the other hand, there's an interesting analysis of the Ravens game from, I don't know if you saw this, but from Kurt Warner, where he looked at basically what Baker was doing and said, hey, don't put this on Baker. It's not really Baker that's causing these issues. You got quarterback, he's basically credited one or two throws that were not, Baker's best, that caused, that were not, that he basically put at Baker's feet. But he's like, you got drops, you got poorly ran routes, you've got, poor and inexplicable play calls or bad route combinations. there were all kinds of things going on where Baker is, in a lot of ways, doing his best to help this team succeed as best as he can in the position that he's in to do it, but he's limited by what he's working with at times, and you can't just. I know this is a quarterback-centric league, so everybody sits there and looks at what the quarterback is doing, and all the credit or blame goes to the quarterback, whoever that might be. But it's not always just on the quarterback. This is the ultimate team sport. There are 11 players out there. Every player's got to do his 1/11th. At times, it feels like the quarterback has to do more, but we don't. It's not that he has to do more. He has to play within the system, and everything has to work together. So it's not. It's simple to, it's very easy or simplified to say, oh, the quarterback is not doing well, but there's so many other factors that go into that.
Mac Jones, long dig route.
And really, I guess the last thing I would say to that point is we as Browns fans have this tendency to sit here and play this grass is greener game constantly of, oh, I wish we had this quarterback or that quarterback or had done this, made this draft pick, back in whatever, and at the same time not realizing, yes, there are things that we can improve on, but at the same time. The second guessing and the negativity doesn't really help anything, and we as Browns fans have to get used to this idea of we are not the same Browns that we once were. We finally got an organization and a culture together that can be successful. Are they as successful as we want them to be? No, but this is the NFL, and the NFL is an incredibly volatile and challenging league, and they're all professionals. They all get paid. So, and there's a reason for it. So I think the Browns are moving in the right direction. I think we will get the success that we all want to see. It's just going to be playing a little bit of patience and then realizing as a fan base we can't just sit here and woe on us for all of it just because we're not used to having a team that can be competitive. So we have to learn how to be a different kind of fan base, I think.
Thank you for coming to Kids TED Talk. No, we definitely need a paradigm shift in terms of fandom.
Yes.
We've been so bad for so long, we don't know how to handle a little bit of success.
Yep.
And so therefore, we got to throw the baby out with the bathwater every week with something.
Yep.
But so we'll see. We'll see. My guess is he probably plays with his fifth-year option next year, and with two healthy labrums and seeing, I think he's crossed the line on this throw.
Oh yeah, that was definitely
your point earlier.
Yeah.
But no, I think he probably plays next year on the fifth-year option if they don't get something done over the summer. And if anything, you're probably able to get him for a little less than he probably would have had you signed him last offseason.
Right. No, I think that's true. Yeah, and I also, I don't like the idea of just giving up on Baker. We've got something that is good that can be successful. Am I saying that it will be successful? No. I mean, there's always.
We saw that it was last year.
Right. Yeah. We know that it can be, but we also have seen where there have been struggles, and there are times where injuries have been a factor. But on the other hand, again, I don't put this all at Baker's feet. I think that he has the moxie and the skill and the ability to be an excellent franchise quarterback for this team. We've seen what he can do. We have to put all the pieces together and support him in being the best quarterback that he can be. And I think they're making a conscious effort to do that. And I think it'll come together. It's just these things take time. It just doesn't happen overnight. You can't, again, there's this idea that, just because we had this successful offense coming out of last season that we should automatically have a successful offense coming into the next season. Every season is just so different for so many reasons. Just from an injury perspective and what players you have to work with, let alone from the perspective of how do we approach these games and what film is there out on you and how are other teams preparing for you, and there's tons and tons of factors that go into that stuff. So it's really there's I think he can be what we want him to be. I think we need to have some patience with it, and we'll see what happens with the contract situation. I suspect he probably does play on that 5th year, at least for a while, and then we'll see how that season goes. But I wouldn't put it out of the realm possible that he plays lights out and then he gets his contract. So we'll see.
Yep. Very true. Well, mercifully, this one's over. It turned into a bloodbath in the second half. Josh Allen leading his team to a big win, 24-27 for 340 and 3 touchdowns. That'll get it done. Mac Jones, on the other hand, 23 of 39 for 334 and 4 touchdowns.
4 interceptions.
4 interceptions. Excuse me. Yes, I thought they were going to show. I thought they showed sacks on that screen, but apparently they don't. On the ground, Damian Harris finally got over 100 yards, but he was at 99 after 12 carries, so it took him another 8 carries to get 5 yards. So they started off well running the ball. The running statistics are going to look pretty good. How about Josh Allen, 5 for 94, Zach Moss and Matt Breida both getting into the end zone, but not great averages for either of them in the process. Dawson Knox, 9 for $113 and 2 touchdowns. He was good. Stephon Diggs, 4 for 95. Emmanuel Sanders with 4. Beasley with 3, 2 for Davis. McKenzie, of course, had that 44-yard touchdown, and Singletary with his 1 catch for 1 yard. Big day for Jacoby Myers, 9 catches, 171 for him. Bourne with 5 for Henry as well. That was it. A couple of drops over there in that right category, not helping things. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not the best way to help your team when you are struggling to not turn the ball over. Dante Hightower, 12 tackles to lead the defense, 9 for Van Noy and McCourty. The 2 sacks for their team were for Godshaw and Matthew Judon. And no interceptions. Again, their turnovers were fumble, scoop and score related. 8 tackles for White and Milano for the Bills. Sacks today, let's count them up. 5.5 for Vernon Butler, 3 for Zimmer, 2.5 for Basham, 1 for Poyer, 1 for Hughes, and then the other half for Latualele and rookie Greg Rousseau out of the U. The 4 picks were by Neal, White, Wallace, and Hyde. So the big time beatdown today, 56-14. is how this one will end. Again, this game was 7-7 for all of the first quarter and then just exploded after that. Wrap it up.
Well, turnovers are a killer. A whole ton of sacks certainly don't help. We saw all of those defensive touchdowns, which were brutal on either side. But especially when you give a high potent offense, a scoring advantage like that, and then you can't seem to get anything done, and allowing that strong defensive line to just feed with a rookie quarterback forcing interceptions and sacks that's how it's done, and that's complimentary football, which is something we should see more of for the Browns, as we were talking about quite a bit there. But yeah, that was definitely a score line. I don't think we're very likely to see, although games can get out of hand. So it's not that it's impossible.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody being on. Thanks so much to our subscribers, new and old. Y'all are the best. We very much appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the football. The Browns are at home resting, so you get to be at home resting this weekend as well. So for Kit Nagy on the left coast, Phil Nagy here in Central Ohio, we are Nagy on Sports. Have a great rest of your day. Today we will say go Bills Mafia as they take over first place in the AFC East with the tiebreaker, I'm assuming. But as always, Go